Here we go again with Washington's populist arguments winning the day when unintended consequences may in fact be worse than the problem they were trying to solve. Welcome to the debate about net neutrality. The FCC agreed yesterday to regulate internet providers more like public airwaves, and that they will prohibit the providers from doing what's known as tiering. That is, charging one group of users a higher fee for faster service. Think of it this way. The internet has a fast lane and a slow lane. Providers let you jump on the fast lane if you pay a little bit more. The bottom line that's been asked, is that a good thing? Well, let's take a look at that on today's Beaman Report for February 26, 2015. Remember the good old days when the days of the Wild West, when everyone could get on the internet with absolutely no problems and all the same way without all of this corporate greed in the middle. Well, the reality though, wait, we didn't have things like high-speed internet, we didn't have home internet, and we certainly didn't have Netflix. Well, with all that growth, here comes Washington traveling in on its white horse to save the day. But save it from what? The argument made is that by providers charging additional fees to increase bandwidth, they were effectively censoring the internet. In other words, they were making it difficult for smaller enterprises to compete with the big established companies because the smaller ones couldn't afford the higher fees. Let me give you a specific example. After about 9 o'clock at night, it's true that Netflix consumes the vast majority of the bandwidth available on the internet. Well, for this privilege of being prioritized so that you don't have the old bumpy road like you had with the dial-up modems, they pay a little extra for a privilege of being put on the supercharged highway. Well, the argument goes that small startup video companies won't be able to compete with Netflix because of that. Well, the problem is there's absolutely no evidence that that's ever existed. None whatsoever. No one has ever shown a circumstance in which a small company was hindered because of a preference shown to a larger company that could buy more bandwidth. So now, because of this hypothetical boogeyman, the Federal Communications Commission has created a 335-page regulatory manual that shows internet providers that, well, you pay more, you get more type thinking doesn't work anymore. It's now illegal. So even though I'm willing to pay more for my Comcast high-speed internet than someone else might be, I won't be able to get higher service. The theory is that we'll all be put exactly on the same fast lane. Well, there's a problem with that. It negates human response. It negates the typical and historically true problem created when government regulates an industry that otherwise should be left alone and to do its own private business. Gone is the direct profit incentive for a venture to create faster lanes. Yeah, over time I believe things will continue to improve for the internet, but this will slow that down precipitously. More concerning, of course, is simply knowing that the business model for internet providers has changed so dramatically, and the final regulations for this 335-page manual aren't known yet. In point of fact, the FCC refused to let that regulatory book be seen by anyone other than 3 people on the commission who voted for it and Google, who adjusted it. Once again, this creates a situation where you and I have to wait until it's passed to see what's in it, and that has not historically been a really great situation. There is, of course, much more to discuss as we look to the future of the internet, but here we go again. I hope that history is wrong this time and that it won't repeat as it has over and over and over again. Maybe this time, maybe, government regulation will lead to more innovation. I doubt it, but you and I will wait and see.